Hello and welcome to the Game Out Loud podcast, your one and only podcast for all things gaming. I am, of course, your host this week. Like all weeks, it seems, now that we started this whole setup, Jordan Rusnak. And joining me is, of course, my good friend Rob Peterson.
Yeah, back and for the who knows how many time.
Yeah, you've been here a couple times. Glad to see that you decided to grace us with your presence again.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have a little less regular employee. No, not employee, although I'd like to say I was his boss, but I'm not. My older brother here, and for those of you who don't know, since I think this is one of the first times he's been on in a full-on manner while we've been streaming, Mark Daley. I almost called you Rob Daley. That would not be accurate.
I would like to point out that I'm at least 50% less irregular than I have been.
That is true. You were on last week for a little bit. That was an interesting situation. That using XSplit is fun. Using XSplit with Skype on multiple calls is even more fun. So, yeah, it was a little strange. But we're glad to have you on this week. For those of you who are tuning in and you want to know what we're going on with later, we're going to talk about all things kind of multiplayer related. Rob, I don't know if you knew that, so this is probably a good time to let you know about that. Such as the Destiny, what is the other one, Mark? Division rivalry that's going on, or maybe the Overwatch beta that just happened, or Battlefield 1 being announced. All those things I will hope to bring up and more. But until
then, we got to talk the trailer controversy too.
Oh yes, of course. That will come up. But as we are talking about our video game week, I have a lot. So if you guys could just keep it brief. No, I'm kidding. Just tell me what you've been playing, Mark. It's been a while since you've been on.
Well, you mentioned Overwatch. I actually did download the beta, although I forgot about it until I guess it was Saturday morning. I think I downloaded Friday night. So Saturday morning, I actually got to play it for a bit. But yeah, Overwatch was good. Brings back those nice TF2 feelings.
Oh, I had a blast playing that. We should have played. Although I'm not really on when anyone in our little group is awake.
Or in the continental U.S. is awake.
Yes, actually, right. I work well with people in Finland, in that general area.
Our time I don't usually see you on. I don't see any of you guys on. I don't think. I have my own little group that I built up from Destiny that I play with on a regular basis because kind of the same time zones.
Rob's always in away mode. I don't know why.
On which thing?
Yes.
You're always until this week. Skype. I have not been playing very many games lately, but I have been this week.
So yeah, I played Overwatch. I played Destiny a little bit. I even played the Division a little bit.
Who'd you like playing in Overwatch?
Actually, I'm always been fond of engineers. So Torbjorn is definitely a favorite. I like the turrets. Although there's another character that puts down a different kind of turret that I haven't figured out who it is yet. I've only played about 4 different characters. So.
Yeah, the energy beam turret lady.
Yeah, those are tricky.
Isn't that the guy on the roller skates that does that?
I don't know. He had that big old sonic gun or whatever that thing was he carried out. I really don't know. Like I said, I only played about 4 characters, so I really wish I would have gotten a chance to kind of experiment more, but we had a lot going on this weekend, so I got what time I could in and figured out, it's like, yeah, it's exactly what I expected. It's TF2 for, console. Just they're a little more granular in their player breakdown.
So this is Blizzard's middle finger to Valve for stealing their
right
the mod from Warcraft 3. Oh, you'll steal our Dota? Yeah, well, we'll make a better TF2. So
exactly, or at least one that's out of the consoles.
21 playable characters. And each one of them has their own thing, plays a little bit differently. I really enjoyed Genji, the really mobile ninja.
I knew you would.
Why?
It's just that strikes me as the type of character you would play.
Oh,
I didn't try him out because it was too close combat for me.
Combat, high mobility. I want to be able to jump up high in the air, throw those ninja stars, and slash as I hit the ground, killing those guys. But I also really liked Pharah.
Yes, I had a lot of fun with Pharah doing that launch. I would do that launch jump and then either throw the R1 effect to knock people out, or if I had my super ready, I just basically launch up and then just super rockets all over the place.
Oh yeah, so good. She plays such a good first-person shooter rocket character. if you've played Quake or Doom and all that, like mostly Quake, I feel like, but the rockets seem to have about the same amount of travel time.
Yeah.
And it feels so good to just like, oh, he's going there. Okay, just shoot a rocket and leave it and forget it and knock that guy and kill him. Like it is so fun to do that. And that game had a lot of good moments like that where I felt like my skill was really what was happening, and that was fantastic.
I like the end of game display of who had the best event or whatever for the game, and the voting for the characters at the end. I really like those features. Definitely lends itself to a community kind of atmosphere. One thing I didn't like so much was what I felt was a little bit of an imbalance on some of the characters, like the payload missions. Sticking Bastion in his minigun mode on the front of a payload is just friggin' ridiculous. If you have any sort of healer on him, you're screwed. There is no overcoming that unless you've got a coordinated team. Randos will not do it.
Yeah, no, Bastion is definitely needing a little bit of a debuff. I feel like he needs to not be able to turn. He needs to be a lockdown a corridor guy, not lockdown a field guy.
Well, yeah, maybe not a 360-degree rotation. Maybe you give him like a 30-degree field of fire or something like that.
Yeah. So
that you can kind of work around him. So anyway, that was my biggest frustration, I think, with the game so far. But I mean, I haven't had a chance to play it a whole lot. Some of the map types, I was surprised. I did not see any capture the flag type games. There was area control and payload types. So I'm not sure if they're going to include more maps, map types or not. I hope they do. I think it would be a shortcoming if they didn't add those types in. So.
Yeah, I think I don't know, but I think they said there was more their game types than that, because I only played one type, like escort that thing, and I can't see that only being one game type if there's like if this is going to go as big as they hope it's going to.
No, they had some of the like two different types of area control. One was like the grab point A then point B, or there was one contested point and the team to get it to 100% 2 times out of 3 won the match or whatever.
Gotcha. That was now that you mentioned it. Yes, I did play both those types.
I did grab the freebies off of PlayStation Plus, but they obviously didn't make much of an impression because I don't remember what they were.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore.
Lately.
What's that?
Seems to be a pattern lately with those.
Oh wait, no. One of them was Tropico, which I did enjoy playing.
Tropico 5, correct?
Tropico 5. I do like city builders, so that was kind of a fun one to mess around with a little bit. Haven't played a whole lot, but tried it out a bit, and it was fun. I mean, it's got some nice elements to it. I played a scenario, I think, when really what I thought I was doing was just starting a sandbox game, like I think they give you. I really would just rather start from the beginning and just play through, and they cut me off after I got once I had my revolution to separate myself from the crown. Then it was like, okay, good job, you finished that scenario. I'm like, what? No, I want more. So otherwise it was amusing.
I've always wanted to try that game. Never had the stones to actually buy it, so if I had PlayStation Plus, I would probably play it. But
well, it's funny because it was actually on sale the week before, I think, on a flash sale or something like that. And I looked at it and it's like, and I'm not willing to spend that much money on it. But then it was just amusing that the following week it came out free. I'm like, well, I guess I'm glad I didn't spend any money on it.
Right?
Yeah.
How great would that have been?
I probably would have been a little irritated.
Indeed. Refund. We don't give those. Sorry.
Exactly. But yeah, that's about all I've been playing.
Sweet. Well, thanks for filling us in there. How about you, Rob? What have you been up to?
Yeah. It sucks that there were no games coming out this week. Otherwise, I'd have something to talk about.
Yeah, we're kind of in uncharted waters with no games being released around this time.
Yeah, the industry's doomed.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't find a way to mix 4 into the conversation.
Nice try. That's really sick, you two. Sick.
Yeah, I did pick up Uncharted. I also picked up Doom. I don't know why. I hate myself, apparently, because it doesn't look very good. But
I've had that pre-ordered for months. It's been a slow cancer for me.
Yeah. Well, when the first trailer came out, it looked awesome. It's like, all right, it looks like they're getting this right. And then I played the alpha, and it's like, And then stuff came out about the beta, and now they're not giving out any review copies. And it's like, Ooh, yeah, bad sign, bad sign. So expectations are low for that. But the other game that came out this week, my expectations were pretty high for. That is Uncharted 4, and
That's Uncharted 4: The Tale of Indiana Jones, correct?
yes, it's, male Laura Croft and
Gotcha.
the Temple of Gloom.
The Temple of the Ark of the Gluvenant.
It's Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, I believe, is the subtitle. And
What are you laughing at, Mark?
Gluvinant. That's a great word. Makes me think of something going
it's
on with the butt, but I'm not
it's a
sure.
Oh, just wait
perfectly
until
cromulent word.
you hear about the names that I came up for our society in Stellaris. Mm-hmm.
Good.
Sorry, Rob. Continue.
It's good.
Oh, and he's done.
You can't give me any more than that. Sorry, I'm trying to fix something here.
Hey, I played Hearthstone. The Old Gods expansion came out.
Yeah. So, Mark, what's the best looking game you've ever played
The best looking game.
or seen?
Graphics wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, Crysis is right up there. That I've played myself. I mean, some of the Final Fantasies have been pretty impressive. And funny enough, I really like some of the later Zeldas. Even like the cell shaded Zelda. I actually was kind of fond of the cartoon, the way they did the cartooning and everything like that. But I would say probably Crysis or Final Fantasy.
Yeah. This is a step above, a large step forward for graphics.
Really?
Yeah. At the beginning, and they do it seems like an intentional fake out where you think you're watching a cutscene and then the camera pulls back and you're playing and you're just going, what?
Now
You touch the controller and your character moves and you're like, what? How can it look like this?
We've had in-engine cutscenes for a very long time. What makes this any different?
No, because of how good it looks.
Okay. And this is on a PS4?
On a PS4, yeah. This is a PS4 exclusive, Uncharted 4.
And it looks
It is.
You have literally been quoted as saying it is the next step forward in graphics. This is why we shouldn't have Neos come out, because once you have Neo come out, you don't get to work in that small frame and have something amazing come out of it. Now you have this bigger frame and it ruins everything.
You just have the same game in 4K at 60 frames per second.
You don't
I'd
have
play
scales.
that. But it looks really incredible. So it makes a very good first impression. And then, of course, it's the Naughty Dog design team, and they take every lesson they learned from The Last of Us and move everything a step forward. So you're playing a masterwork in game design. And every little scenario you work your way through is very... how can I put this? It's like the way they integrate the story into what you're doing is so effortless. You barely even notice how much story is happening all the time, if that makes sense. Like the characters are constantly bantering back and forth, but it doesn't interrupt the flow when you're playing, except when there's a very long cutscene, which there are many, like Metal Gear Solid many, way more than we're used to in Uncharted games.
Oh.
But you can tell a huge amount of time was put into just polishing what you're doing at every moment in the game. You'll be in a brawl with multiple people, and depending on who's standing near you when you throw a punch, your teammates will grab the guy by the arms and help you out. And it's all, as far as I can tell, most of this is not scripted. It's done so tightly and so well that it looks like scripted sequences.
Wow.
That are happening. It really, it's like, this is some next gen shit.
Do you feel like you need to play the first 3 in order to get the most out of 4?
Yes.
Damn
Well,
it.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. I own them, and I still say damn it.
Yeah, they put in some story stuff throughout the first few missions where they talk a little bit about what's happened before to kind of bring people up to speed. But this is definitely the ending of a longer saga. It's like, it'd be like watching Return of the Jedi without seeing the first 2 movies,
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I do recommend playing the other 3 first. You don't have to, and with the kind of reviews this game's getting, a lot of people aren't going to, and I'm sure they know that. But with the Nathan Drake collection out there for PS4, I recommend at least playing 2 and 3. You can probably get away with just a synopsis or something on 1.
Uh-huh.
But Yeah, it's really good. I like as soon as we're done recording this, I'm gonna go back and keep playing it because I'm super impressed with it. So,
So all of the cutscenes then are in engine then.
I can't tell actually. In previous Uncharted games, you could kind of see the compression and the shadows and stuff would be a little lighter and faded, so you could kind of tell when you were watching an in-engine thing and when it switched. In this, I can't tell. I'm actually not sure.
Huh. Well, that's
So
positive.
if it's not all in-engine, it's so seamless when they transition that you can't even tell.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Well, that's a positive one. Like, I was debating on getting it. I'm still not going to right now, but I will then put that on the pros category.
Yeah, definitely pick it up at some point. I mean, this is going to be a game that's in the Game of the Year discussion, unquestionably.
Oh, no.
So,
are you enjoying the actual story of it, or just the graphics?
oh yeah, no, the story is really, really good, and this is actually Neil Druckmann was the creative director and writer on this one. Amy Hennig did the previous 3, and she's awesome.
Mhm.
But and I'm sure there's some of her left in here. I think she said as much in an interview earlier this week. But Neil Druckmann is a little more subtle and a little more character driven and a little less Indiana Jones. I mean, this is a little more of a mature and deeper tale than we're used to with Uncharted. It's not just a carefree adventure where you're trouncing through the jungle finding treasure.
Yeah.
Treasure.
Can I find treasure still?
Oh yeah, lots of treasure. In fact, even I guess this is a small spoiler, but Nathan Drake works on a ship as a diver, and even just like walking around on the deck of the ship, I found some treasure. It was like a vintage arcade coin.
Nice.
So they put lots of that in there.
I found out that a coin in my pocket would be worth 32 cents to $1.04. It's a penny.
Okay.
It's a wheat penny.
Yes.
That's a specific year that I looked up, and 34 cents to $1.04 for this penny.
So you can go sell it to get 32 cents on your 32 times your value?
No, it's just gonna go in a little collector's sleeve, and then I'm going to swallow the collector's sleeve so I never lose it.
Because you're a numismatist, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
that makes sense.
I'll swallow soap, and then I'll burp the soap up with the collector's sleeve and the penny in the bubble.
I don't know that's how that works, but go for it. I'd love to see it.
I've heard of guys eating like live mice and then reproducing them a few minutes later, alive still.
I've heard of that same thing, but it's only slightly different. Never mind. Probably not okay for work.
Yeah, we'll just leave that one in the imagination there, good. But
sorry, I broke myself. Rob,
he's amused himself.
And the worst part is I don't think I can mute. What else have you been playing there other than these Uncharted Waters?
a couple weeks ago, I picked up Dark Souls 3 and
Oh
installed
my
it.
God! Please tell me. Yes, give me.
I still have not played it.
Oh, I fucking hate you.
I've not even fired it up. So
We've
at
talked
some
about
point,
this.
I'll get around to it. I don't know. I don't have it in me right now. I can't take that kind of punishment at this time in my life.
Dude, it feels much more like Bloodborne as far as the damage goes. What's up?
I heard that Dark Souls played a metagame on you.
Huh?
It punished you. It didn't just punish you in game. It punished you out of game when you reinstalled your OS.
Oh yes, I had to start over again. Actually, but in most Dark Souls fashion, I took that damage and I put it right back at it, and now I have a much better character and a much better build.
Although I've been told that it does have cloud saves. So how did you not?
It doesn't. What? No, it doesn't.
If it's on Steam, it probably does.
Yeah, somebody else who's been playing it on Steam says, yeah, mine cloud saves.
Dark Souls 3.
So you were just a victim of your own inability to set up a cloud save, I guess, huh?
Dark Souls 3. Okay, here we go. Right click. Properties. Enable Steam overlay. Use desktop theater. Yes. No. Local files. Backup game files. Updates. No language. I don't remember how to get to it. I remember saying, or someone saying I couldn't. They didn't do it. So,
well, I just found it amusing that Dark Souls found a way to punish you in real life.
Yeah, or I was, yeah, pretty much. It works. And I have a better character now who is kicking way more ass.
Nice.
I like it much. But yeah, Rob, why do you delay, sir? You have the game. You own it. It's there. Like Dylan at least doesn't have it. That's his excuse.
I don't know, man. Just not feeling it.
Oh,
If it makes you feel any better, I would never play Dark Souls because I have a hard enough time with my own real life. Why would I want to scream in frustration at my relaxation time?
No, there's something to be said for it. I mean, because I don't know. I kind of thought that too, Mark. But once you actually get in the swing of it, it is crazy addictive.
it is, and I
It's
did
like
not
gambling.
like
It's like
Demon
why would
Souls?
I want to throw money away on a slot machine and then you do it and you're like more.
Yeah.
I didn't like Demon Souls very much. I played it because I thought it was a cool concept. I didn't like Dark Souls 1. I didn't like Dark Souls 2. I've been on, like, before I played Bloodborne, mind you. I played Bloodborne, and the story in Bloodborne was enough to get me interested in how the actual systems worked for a Souls game. Once I had that, it is such a good game. Like, I'm having such a blast with Dark Souls 3. And I have to stop talking. Like, I wasn't going to talk about it this week because I just keep talking about it. I have to save something for Colin when he comes on and talks about it. But it is, I'm having such a good time with it, from like the challenge to finding things to like, okay, I need to level up my character. I no longer get pissed if I lose a few thousand souls. I'm like, okay, I know how to make that back up. Like, it's the long game that I'm playing, and it's so good. Like Dark Souls 3, the different choices you have for builds, different weapons, you should really play it. It's a good thing. Both of you, all of you.
Both of you.
Colin told me it's his favorite.
Yeah, it's good. It's like they took all those great ideas they had in Dark Souls. They took the refining they had in Bloodborne, and they just kind of they've got their stride now, and they've made a fantastic game. Which is why it baffles me so fucking much that you're not playing it. You make me sad. Anything else for taking up your time?
I mean, I guess I could talk about the first Deus Ex if you want, but
JC Denton and the like.
Yeah, I'm not being real serious about it, but I do slowly want to replay number 1 and number 3 before number 4 comes out.
I actually have them on my wish list on Steam. I just haven't pulled the trigger because I just don't play on my PC. I mean,
you need to do that. It's where the grown-ups play. Leave the consoles to the kids.
I was playing PC before you even understood what to do there, Junior.
And you were what? An adult. Good job.
No.
You just made me my point.
Are you kidding? I played PC when I was 16. You were 3.
Thus, you were an adult.
Still sucking at your
in
mama's
Germany.
dick.
Yeah, you played like Gold Box, right, Mark?
Heck yeah, I played
that's
Gold
like
Box.
that's like
the
the
original
war
Wing
tat.
Commander. That's right. That's right. Dwarf Fortress.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man.
Dwarf Fortress is still a thing, though.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it
still huge.
is. It is. But yeah, so I've been to PCs, and then I actually went back to consoles. It's like, what's wrong with me? I'm out of sync.
Yeah, because I remember you were playing on PC, and then it seems like the second I got to PC, you had dedicated it to the console, and I was like, oh no.
Well, I mean, I could go back to the PC again. It's just, I mean, it's ridiculous for me to.
Nope, it's not you, Rob. He's just muted for some reason. Rob, are you muted? Oh, so it seems like everything seems to have completely fucked off. I'm not sure what happened, what's going on here. But we're going to take a minute to pause, and we'll kind of be right back. Can you guys hear me at all? No? You guys look very, very confused. So it seems that we may or may not be broadcasting very well. So let's go ahead and take a moment, and we'll be right back.
Gaming, so.
Yeah, there we go. I'm not sure what happened. I'm pretty sure that Mark's comment about Steam got Valve
Pissed off the
pissed at
computer.
us, and
They must have, yes, that must be what happened, was that consoles are better than PCs. No, that was, of course, is not my take at all. I mean, I understand the value of gaming on a PC. I mean, like I said, I cut my teeth on FPS, games on PC, and when I moved to console, it was horrible. I hated it because I just sucked at it. But I got used to it. And, now that's what I play on.
not nearly as fun.
Maybe it's better for a casual gamer.
For a console, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I tend to be more analog gaming these days anyway. So
Yeah, when I come down, we'll have to play. I'll bring down Cthulhu.
yeah, the card game you were talking about, or
Oh no, I'll bring that too. But I've got a full on Cthulhu game. We'll take 18 hours. We'll play that sucker.
we're not playing Call of Cthulhu.
Why not?
Or
We can do that.
no Arkham Horror.
Yeah,
No,
we
we're
can
not
do
playing.
that. It'll be fun.
Screw Arkham Horror.
Wait, but it'll
Yeah,
be fun.
no, there are some games that don't get played in my presence. That's one of them.
But does it drive you mad?
No, we're not going to play Mansions of Madness either.
But as I say, if it drives you,
Betrayal at House on the Hill is acceptable.
but if it makes you mad, then it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, so why don't you want that game to be played?
It takes so freaking long.
Is it that bad?
Do you,
I own it. I
Do you
haven't
even
played
have
it
any
yet.
of the expansions? Do you have the expansions?
No, I just have the root game.
Oh, even the root game, it'll take 3 hours at least, minimum 3 hours.
Okay, so I'll just bring the Junk King, the one that we had the interview on for the
That's
podcast.
the one you've talked about, yeah. But then I've got a whole bunch in my closet too, so you're gonna have to take a look at what I got in there. And
Rob, you should
pick
come
one
over
out.
for this. It's when are we doing this? June 18th?
Weekend of June 10th.
June 10th. Yeah, you should just fly on up to Portland, Rob, and then you get on this fun stuff
I'll look into that.
with the newborn baby and all.
Yeah. Totally gonna happen.
I mean, we can.
We like babies.
Yeah, babies are fine. We'd like to meet the baby. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get on to me real quick. Get off me. I'm married. Thanks. Yeah. Let's move on to me. So I want to talk about Super Hot, which just came out on the Xbox One last week. I have been playing that courtesy of Evolve. They sent a copy over so I can give it a try. That game is super fun. Like, the concept is that you're in like a simulation looking sort of world where things slow down a lot, like severely, to almost not moving when you're not moving. But the second you move, everything speeds back up. So
Oh, I remember hearing about this game. It was kickstarted a while back.
I believe so.
Right? Yeah, this looks cool.
Yeah, so it's like a white simulated room, and these red simulated enemies come out and they shoot, and you have a gun, and you can like punch or grab their weapon or do whatever. It's kind of neat. So it's a puzzle game, but a first person shooter, because you have to figure out like how to.
The path you have to take to optimize the attack and eliminate the enemies, right? I saw that. It looks very cool.
What's
It
this
is.
called? What did you say it's called?
Super Hot.
Super Hot?
Super.
Which is
I'm
a
gonna
completely
buy that.
ridiculous
Super
title.
Hot. Super hot. It's what it says when you finish the level, and once you finish the level, it takes and it plays back your actions, but not while you've been looking around, just like while you moved. So you get to look all badass.
Right, because it doesn't show the time that it took you to figure out how to plan your strategy.
Correct.
Oh, that is awesome.
It is a really, really interesting idea. And the best part is I could actually show you guys, but then I'd have to kill you. Do you want to see? We can do a live stream on that. Like, so in that case, what's your extra points there, Rob?
Huh?
What's your extra point?
Why are we moving over to that?
Because I need to set this up so you can check it out. You're gonna look at it.
But wasn't there something else you were going to talk about?
There is, but I'm gonna focus on what's your extra point?
Game of Thrones.
Oh, don't you dare!
That's what it is. So, I guess now you regret punting this one over to me, don't you, Jordan?
Indeed, I do. Mark, what's your extra point?
Reamd by Neil Stevenson.
Reamd.
I started this book probably a year ago. I picked it up. I read like the first 10 pages and said, "No, I'm not interested." Really, what I needed to do was read 20 pages, and then it would have started picking up just fine, and I didn't have a problem with it after that. So,
Gotcha.
I've got about 30 pages left to finish it at this point.
Sweet.
And it's a Neil Stevenson book, so it's super huge, right?
Yeah, it's like 1,000 and let's see, I've got it right here. 1,040 pages or something like that. 1,042. Like I said, I've got about 30 left. And I've had to renew my renew my library checkout on it twice just to get it finished. It's taken me like almost 8 weeks, I think, at this point.
Awesome. Well, here, can you guys see this right there? That there is super hot. Superhot.exe.
Looks like a totally cracked version of whatever you're playing there.
That's the idea.
Get over it.
I've got a camera in the middle of my screen. It's hard to actually see what I'm doing here, but I just shot him. There's going to be a guy that appears over here. See that bullet just went whizzing by me? Shoot one there. Oh, I missed.
Because he's moving.
Yep. Nailed him.
I like how it shows the trails, like where they've come from.
Indeed, and look how he's shattering over here.
Yeah.
Like, and now this is empty, so I'm gonna throw that, grab that, fire one.
So
there.
so when you say not moving, you can turn and look around all you want. It's when you actually make motion with your body.
Or fire.
Like if you're firing too.
Yeah.
So if you stray for whatever, they'll move towards you. So you actually have to anticipate where he's going to be.
And I'm really bad at it. Oh, I'm out of bullets.
Huh.
And of course, the first thing I'm thinking of here is Hardcore Harry.
I don't know what that is. Oh, he just picked up a gun. Shit. Oh, got him.
That's a first-person movie.
So you can see in the background, it's actually showing what I did.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
It's a really interesting idea. To have it be kind of. I can click the hand over. So let's try one more here. Let me move my camera so I can actually see what's going on. Maybe this will be a little more entertaining. But the look, a cup.
A bottle in your cup and throw it at him, and more shots.
Oh, I missed. Oh, I got shot from behind.
Right past. Right, so they have to figure out what happened. Anyway, yeah, sorry, I was saying, Hardcore Harry is a movie that's coming out, but it's based.
I think it's out, actually.
If it is, I'm not sure, but it's based on a YouTube video.
Look at that. There he is.
Where it shows.
Oh, I have seen previews for that.
The complete first-person perspective, action movie. Which the very idea kind of makes me ill, but
yeah, I don't know if I want to see that.
Oh,
whoa! I got shot, dude.
Yeah, from behind. All right, one more time, then we're done with this one. Bang! I just thought this would be kind of a cool thing. More shots. Grab it. Shoot him. Done. You're gonna be hard because you're gonna move, so I'm gonna hit you there. Oh, fire. Oh, right.
Oh, nice. You missed him and dodged into his bullet.
Into his bullet. Yeah, I hit the wrong direction. I was looking on the well, what the heck? It just gave me the bullet. Or gave me the gun.
Clearly it's having mercy on you because you suck so bad at it.
I think that is indeed the case.
And if you're listening to this, just picture in your
Oh.
mind Jordan being really terrible at a game.
Yeah.
Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I'm basically just sucking. Oh, wow, I got that one. That was great. Oh, yes. You'll have to look this up on our YouTube, guys, 'cause it'll be there waiting for you.
So say, did you just block the bullet
With a cup. Yes, and he shot his friend.
That's excellent.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to spend $25 after I just dropped a bunch of money on games this week, but at some point I'm picking this game up because this looks awesome.
Yeah. No, from the time I saw the concept.
Oh, that was a good one.
The concept video. I was very impressed. I thought, this is definitely something that could grab my attention.
Oh yeah.
So now it's
Okay,
going to
watch
show
that.
your sequence here.
Yeah.
That was an awesome shot, by the way. The one where it shows you fire and duck behind the column. I love that look.
Yeah.
That
Watch. He
was good.
shoots his friend. He killed his friend over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bam. Dead. Yeah.
And
so
totally,
this
it
is
looked
super
like
hot.
you just set that up, of course.
That was so cool. Now what? I wonder. Press F5 again to upload the full replay. Left mouse button to edit.
To killstagram.com.
Oh, so I can choose what it sees. So notice you'll see me messing around.
Oh, as you're changing your camera angle?
Correct. You can see this in slow motion. Boom. Death. That was a pretty fun one. Awesome. Well, yeah, I like this. Hopefully we can do more
I wonder if
stuff
you can do
this.
a third-person camera. You can set up cameras in the space. That would be awesome.
Maybe maybe when we review Doom, Jordan, we'll get some clips from that too next week.
Yeah, that'll be sweet. Let's go ahead and switch back here. There we go. So yeah, that's super hot. Which, if that looked interesting to you, let me switch my camera here. That looked interesting to you. Go ahead and check it out because that's a lot of fun. It's hard to get that lead there, but all the levels I played have been a really fun time. And if I can do that editing stuff, I haven't played with that yet, but that looked like it was pretty cool. But super hot on Xbox One and PCs now. It's pretty sweet. And
No love for the PS4.
sorry?
No love for the PS4.
Nope, but such love for the PC. See? It happens.
CC.
Now, usually I would go off into another game here, which is called Stellaris, which is the newest game from Paradox Interactive, the guys who made Crusader Kings 2 and Europa Universalis. But seeing as I just got a hold of that game earlier today, I do not feel that I am far enough along to give you an educated review on how that game is going, considering how deep Paradox games are. But I will be playing it this week. Go ahead.
It's Paradox, though. It's probably good.
Oh, yeah.
We don't need to review it. It's fine. It's good. It's Paradox.
What's the synopsis?
So have you ever played any of their stuff, Mark?
I couldn't say positively.
Crusader Kings 2, Europa Universalis series, Hearts of Iron series.
It's not very medieval.
Magicka, I know you played. I gave it to you.
Oh, I was going to say Magicka. Yes, I did
They
play
published
it. I don't
Magicka.
remember what it was about, but I played it.
I think they published Pillars of Eternity, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and they're doing the new Obsidian RPG as well. That just straight up publishing it. So
Yes, they are.
no Kickstarter.
So they've been around for a bit, and I really like their games. And so they have been known to make what's called, instead of a 4X game, they call it a grand strategy game. So it much more focuses on the stories that go along with that instead of just the exploration, right? Or the expand, explore, exploit, exterminate. Hey, wow, I pulled those out of my ass. I can never do that. Sweet.
Well done.
But you play like an individual in Crusader Kings 2. You're playing one person who runs the country. And you're trying to manipulate and do all this stuff to work. Now they're taking that same idea, this big grand strategy, and now they're putting it into space. And the setup for this was real titties? You just wanted to get more comfortable, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that and the image seems to be slightly messed up because you are not where you're supposed to be, and Mark is slightly in your section. This is what we get for Skype being such garbage. It's not your fault, Mark. Are you trying to wave your arms into his section?
Yes, I'm gonna poke him in the head.
You're a head poker. Yeah, you are way over there. Holy crap. Yep. You can just see your fingers poking over there.
High five, Rob. High five. Yeah.
Wait.
You did.
No?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Back up.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, Rob, way. Go. Come on. Yeah. You're kind of like, all right. High five. Yeah.
It's hard.
There you go, Rob. I done fixed you.
Video is
Yay.
hard.
Although, Mark, you seem to be to the left side. There you are. Anyway, the game options that I had to start the game seemed rather robust as far as building these kind of the world you're gonna have, the kind of races that you're gonna be encountering, the sort of the ethics that you can put forth, because it's gonna, I mean, you're going out into space, you have to have some sort of ethics system, and it lets you choose, like, do you want to be militaristic or do you want to be peaceful? Do you want to be spiritual or scientific? Do you want to be a xenophobe or a xenophile? Like, you have all these, and you have the extreme of both, so you can get these different benefits to work with. So I created the man, I'm not even going to be able to put... I should just make a screenshot of this stuff, because it's... When you're combining 3 different names, like Rob, Jordan, and Dylan, and you're putting them into stuff, like... The name is Rob Jordal. Like it's... I can't remember. I named everything so crazily. But I named the son, Glautor... what is it? Gaulet? Because it came out loud. Gault.
Oh, okay.
And the planet is, like, Rob Jorlik. Like, I can't remember what it actually ended up translating into, but it was pretty funny. But I made us I made the gulp continuum militaristic, because we need to protect ourselves, but we're quick learners, we're natural engineers, we're xenophiles because we want to meet new aliens, and we are also, what was the last thing? Industrialist. So we're trying to expand out and make our way out to the stars. So that's the beginning of the story. And next week and in weeks after, I will give you more updates as to how that's going. So at this point, I think we are going to go over 2 extra points and talk about What?
What? No way!
What are you missing there, Rob?
Yeah.
Is there something that I'm not talking about that you'd like me to converse on?
I guess not.
Could it
No,
be
aside from the fucking VR headset I shipped across the country to you.
Oh, that thing. My bad. Yeah, Rob sent his
It's still in
DK2 over.
It's still in a box in the corner.
Yeah,
You're treating
actually,
it like Dark Souls.
yeah.
Yeah.
I did get that set up successfully, although he scared the living daylights out of me, so now every time I leave, I unplug the thing, because I don't want to brick it for him and burn out the lenses. I didn't get to do that experience yet. I've been so busy. But I did play around with it, and I did sit my wife down. And Rob can attest, he was on Skype with me when I put it on. I was like, holy shit. Because, like, you're in this room, I look around, I look up, and there's light shining down from the ceiling, and I expect that it's going to hit my arm, and my arm's going to be warmer. Like, I was so impressed with how that stuff was set up. And I even got my wife to enjoy it as much as I did. Like, she said that would be a functional purchase if she'd ever let me buy something like that. Keyword there was if.
And this was the Oculus, right?
Oculus DK2.
Okay.
Rob.
Then I've heard some really good things about the Vive too, so I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, Vive's are getting super good reviews.
Not that I'm going to be running out and purchasing any of these anytime soon.
That's not what I told your wife in an email. She'll be coming home, and we'll see how she reacts to that email. Real time. It'll be great.
So, but what I was asking you,
behind me through that door,
Behind door number 1, we have
angry wife.
Anyway, Rob, sorry, what?
what I was texting you about was Elite Dangerous. Were you ever able to get that to work?
I was not.
Okay.
Something about it just does not play well with the non-Steam version. I cannot figure out what it is, and I need to go. I'm pretty sure it's just like a troubleshooting thing. I was trying to get the actual headset working. I was like, well, I want to see what happens if I try to play games in this, and play in the Steam VR room, which was kind of cool. I don't know if you ever played in that, the Steam VR beta. It's interesting. It's showing it on my screen at full resolution, but it's not showing it in the headset at full resolution. Is that, or sorry, refresh rate? Is that supposed to happen that way, or is it just like the beta?
What do you mean?
So I was playing Dark Souls 3 with the headset in theater mode, which was really cool because it made it feel like it was on a huge scale. But I looked on my screen to my right, and that was a perfect representation of what was going on. On the on my image in my head, it was that the frame rate wasn't as good. Is that common?
Oh yeah. So it's just a frame rate killer because you're rendering the entire game that you're playing, and then you're also rendering the 3D space at 90 or at 75 frames per second on the DK2, and that's what's being displayed in there in stereo. So you'd have to turn the settings way down in the game for that to go away. And the bummer is, if you're playing something through the Oculus runtime, through their actual store, through Oculus Home, the game might look chuggy, but you won't actually get it, the headset won't stutter at all because it has asynchronous time warp, which Steam VR does not have and the Vive does not have. That's one of the big selling points on the Oculus. No matter the frame rate could slow down to 45 frames per second and it'll still look exactly the same to you. It's a cheat to create new frames that you see.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you're ever bored, just look up asynchronous time warp explained. It's super fascinating how it works, how it's able to create these new frames.
I was gonna say, it sounds like I'll get more bored if I look that up.
Possibly.
But yes, he did send me a DK2 that I will then try more of this upcoming bit. Maybe I'll play Stellaris. That'd be an awesome one. Just a big space game right in front of me. It looks like the universe is just living off of nothing and dew. It'd be great. But yeah, like I said, you scared the crap out of me when you told me that if I leave that thing plugged in or it basically if it's plugged in and on, it can destroy itself.
Well, the screen can just burn out, so just make sure you turn it off. You don't need to unplug it. Just hit the button on the top so it's off.
Now, if I restart my computer, that doesn't turn it back on?
It might, so just double check when you restart your computer that it's not on.
Yeah, that's what I did, but my computer sometimes resets. Oh, look, she's about to yell at you now. It'll be great. You're muted still.
She's not yelling. Ha ha.
Oh. She must not have got my message.
Sent you an email that's gonna make you yell at me, so maybe you should check your email.
I'm kidding, I didn't send her anything.
Are you gonna leave me?
Am I going to
No, you're gonna leave him for buying an a Vive.
I slept today, but
Well, that's good.
after yesterday, that's
Yeah,
the
two
only
people quit on her yesterday.
Oh, that's no good.
Just walked out. One walked out at lunch, the other one at the end of the day. It's like, are you serious? What is that like? What is it like to be able to just walk out of a job? I don't know this feeling.
I don't know. Two of my coworkers did that recently too.
Yeah, I had two as well. Maybe these things happen in threes, but in twos.
No.
He didn't know. He was joking.
But yes, so let's move on to extra points now. And Rob, you don't get to
Since
talk
you've done
now
ours.
since yours is HBO's Game of Thrones, the video adaptation of A Song of Ice and Fire, and I don't want to hear anything about that. So we're having censorship on this podcast.
Wow. How rude.
I'm kidding.
So you haven't watched it?
I have not. I have stayed pure.
Oh, you haven't seen any of the episodes?
I have not.
I have
Oh.
never watched Game of Thrones either. Nor have I read the books.
Oh, you dig it, Mark. It's good.
Yes,
Oh, I don't doubt it.
watch it with small children.
Oh, no. No, I know
It's-
enough of the content not to do that.
It's very HBO. They definitely have the booby quota in effect.
And some
But,
schlong
and-
count too.
Yeah, and lots of violence.
Yes, that's the
Yes.
major one.
But I was pretty disappointed with season 5, except for the one episode.
Yes, of course.
You know the one, Jordan.
Yes.
That was fantastic. But so far, season 6 is really pulling it back around. So the first episode, I was a little like, okay, I could see this going either way. And then the second episode, you see what they were setting up with the first episode, and it all makes sense. And now it's full steam ahead, and it's really kicking butt. So I won't tell you what happens, Jordan, but it's good. So you have
Isn't
that
this
to look
because
forward to.
they are no longer hindered by actual written words?
Yes, it is. Just
Okay, just making
concepts.
sure.
Awesome.
See, he's been really smart about that. Actually, what's happening is that he's watching the Game of Thrones episodes, and then he'll just write the novel to what they wrote. You know?
Exactly.
Right, and then whatever doesn't work, he can cut, and the good stuff, he can focus on more.
Exactly.
And then he'll get all the credit.
Of course, because he's a genius.
He
How
came up
did
with
he
it.
know they were going to write it? Yeah.
So what about you, Mark? What have you been doing for your extra points?
Well, so I've been reading Neil Stephenson's Reading Me, which took me 2 tries to get into, but now about 2 months later, after the first reading, I've actually almost finished it, which is an accomplishment since the thing is friggin' 1,040 pages. I think the
Ooh.
last book like this I read was
Stand?
The
No,
dictionary.
I haven't read that.
The
Actually, no, it was the second
Edition of the Bible?
no.
I think they're on more than the second.
The North and South trilogy. The second book is called Love and War, and I think it was 1,100 pages, but I could be wrong. And that was in high school when I had all sorts of time on my hands.
Yeah, that's when I ran The Stand too, which was that big. Like the unabridged version of The Stand. That's a big book too.
Impressive. So I've been reading that. I'm almost done with it.
Sweet. What kind of story is it?
I also it's a it's a story about an MMO.
Oh.
So of course I would like it, right?
Yes.
No,
This
it's
is supposed to be extra points. The part of the podcast where non-video game related. They just.
But it's a book. Okay, so
Does
that
WoW
doesn't
count as a non-video game?
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
It's not a game.
Almost at this
That's a lifestyle.
Yeah. No. So I mean, the story revolves around the developer of a MMO and his family and events, inexplicable event, a chain of events that happens to his niece or something like that. And anyway, so it's interesting, and that's kind of what got me into it. I suppose the only other thing for extra points I did was I watched a documentary on Magic the Gathering.
So this is the non-video game. No, oh, dang it! I ruined it. It's not. I should have said non-game related. Dang it.
Gaming, exactly.
Yes.
So yes, I did watch a documentary on the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour and World Championships, which was honestly pretty interesting. I actually saw some names I recognized from my Magic days, and makes me wish for the glory of old.
The only thing I remember from your Magic days is Arabian Nights, because you're old.
That was when I first got into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wasn't even into it seriously then.
Nope. But you had those cards and you lost them all.
Traded them for a next generation collectible card game. Oh my god.
You would have had so much money. So much
Mhm.
money. Let's move on to my extra point real quick. I made a very superfluous purchase this week.
What?
I bought an Amazon Echo.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I hear those are pretty cool.
That is not what I was expecting.
Oh, what were you thinking?
I thought you were going to talk about your shaving kit.
Oh, I was thinking the iPad.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, there's that too.
Wow, those are three very relevant things that were all superfluous. Thanks for that. Although I haven't even told you yet, Rob. So the guy who sold me that shaving kit accidentally threw in $190 brush.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that thing is nice and smooth. My wife was like, the one that you got thrown into the kit is better than the one you have in the box sealed. I don't understand. I went back the other day. The guy's like, yeah, that was $190 he wasn't supposed to give you. I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and just leave now, and I'll talk to you later. So, oh man, it's getting dark here. Let's see if I can get some expo. Whoa, too much exposure.
Are you afraid of the dark?
There we go. At least have some light behind me. No, I think an overhead light is actually what's going to do this, but we'll get that here in a moment. But no, I picked up an Amazon Echo, which if I didn't, the only reason I bought one was because a piece of equipment that I bought for my house went bad. It was in a warranty period. I didn't want the same thing, so I figured I'd spend the money on something else. So the place that I bought the camera that went bad at was nice enough to exchange it under warranty. Thus, I was able to put that same money into something else, so I bought an Amazon Echo.
This is the cylindrical one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a voice-activated Siri made by Amazon that has a speaker, a Bluetooth speaker built into it. It's really cool in a lot of ways, but then also kind of limited in some important ways. I can ask it to play what seems like any song I want, and it will play that song. Even on shuffle, I can play, hey, this band on shuffle. I can actually look up facts, like make it Wikipedia. I can even make it run my house. I can say, trigger this, and it will go to the proper thing and do the right thing depending on the harmony that I have set up in my home or the Philips lights or anything like that. So it's a really kind of cool system. Now, there's one place where I feel that it doesn't shine, and that's in its connectability. So it's very, very good as far as connecting to things with its software, but it doesn't have Bluetooth connection to a like receiver or an external source to project sound. It can only receive signal, which sucks because having something like this and having it be able to put through my surround sound system, my nice, my $1,000 Denon or my, like my whole surround 7.1 system, it'd be nice to have that thing go through. That's the only downside I've found. Now, on the positive side, being able to say, hey, Alexa, set me an alarm for 7:30 in the morning and it wakes me up, or hey, Alexa, what's the weather? What's this? Like anything you'd like kind of ask your phone to do, this thing does, and it has a little nicer way of talking about it. I do like the fact that I can add things to a to-do list that it will then populate on my phone, and I can see a whole history of everything I've asked on my phone. It logs into TuneIn Radio, it logs into Amazon Prime streaming music. So if it's NPR, I can say, hey, play NPR, it'll play my local NPR. If I say, hey, play this specific thing, it'll find that specific thing on TuneIn Radio. It's a really cool device.
Is it always listening, or is there like a trigger button or anything?
There's two different versions. There is the Amazon Echo, which is the one that is voice activated by a trigger word like Alexa or Amazon. Then there is the smaller version of that, which is the Amazon Tap, which you have to actually hit a button to ask it to do something.
Okay, because what I hate, I switched over to a Droid recently, and I really like the phone, but what I hate is you hold down the button and then you have to say, "Hey Google," whereas my iPhone,
no, you have
one
it
less
set up
step.
wrong. You should be able to tell
fine.
your phone to say, "Okay Google," and it opens up
At any time.
That is true. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yep, and that's one
RTFM
thing
next time.
about my iPad that I don't
Okay
like.
Google. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, you have to set it up. That's one thing. I did originally have an iPad Pro, but I decided that was too expensive to have purchased, and then bought an iPad Air 2, which I price matched down. But the iPad Pro, I can say, "Hey Siri," and it will activate without being plugged in. On the iPad Air, you have to say, "Hey Siri," while it's plugged in for that to work. I understand that argument. But yeah, the Amazon Echo is kind of cool. I literally was like, I woke up this morning, and I said, "Alexa, play Run Around by Blues Traveler." Once upon a midnight dreary, and it just starts into it. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's good one to get me started. And I'm like, what if I said, Alexa, play Dig by Mudvayne? Dig, like it's a huge line. I've only come across a couple things that I was required to buy. Some big name things like Dark Side of the Moon or Marcy Playground, Sex and Candy, stuff like that. But those are just like the headliner stuff, right? A lot of the stuff that isn't headlining is still free. So
Cool.
It's a cool little device. You guys, well, you have an iPhone, so I can show you a video through FaceTime. I can show you that in action later on. But that's my extra points is an Amazon Echo. So I'll give you more updates on that to see if I keep it. Maybe there's something else I'll get. You never know. I like technology, but even my wife was like, "This seems rather useless for you." So
now you have to take video of yourself beating Dark Souls while only giving voice commands to your Amazon Echo.
I actually looked at if I could use the Amazon Echo to send commands through my computer. So like if I could say launch Steam, launch this, like give it a series of commands. Nope, unfortunately, I don't have means of doing that. That'd be really cool though. I wonder if I could just yell downstairs and say, like, "Alexa, start this," and see if it can like make my wife.
Alexa, do the dishes.
Yeah.
Can it rent movies?
You can buy
On Amazon?
stuff on Amazon. I'm sure you can rent it too.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah, because I know you can
Yeah.
say, "Alexa, buy this," and it'll buy it.
Hmm.
Because you have to give it your credit card information. And for you, Rob, you can actually have multiple users. So you and your wife could both have an account on there and just say switch profile.
So you need to make sure that nobody who walks into your house knows to just say, "Alexa, buy the Taj Mahal."
Rob, one question for you as far as extra points is going. Is there a way to have multiple users on Amazon Prime streaming?
Yeah.
How do you set that up? Oh, we'll talk about that later. I just wanted to know if it was possible because I know Netflix you can.
Oh, you mean multiple credit cards?
No. Like, so Netflix when you log in, you can choose from you. Like, you can have several profiles. It says like kid or you or whoever.
Oh,
And it tracks the history for each
that I don't know. I
individual
thought you
and
meant
lists
just.
recommendations.
Gotcha. I thought you just meant can you have one person upstairs, one person downstairs?
Oh, no. I mean, can it track stuff individually? Because my wife is watching Doctor Who again, and I would like to as well, but I don't. But she watches it more often than I do, and I don't want to mess up her where she is.
Oh, that's half the
Gotcha.
fun.
Yeah, it's all timey-wimey and stuff in real life. It's meta Doctor Who.
Well, it's like right now I've got my Netflix account is on Mom's old Roku, which is now in the possession of my sister-in-law and her family, which have 3 small children. So now my Netflix feed is full of cartoons and child movies and things like this. It's like, this is great.
It could be full of weirder stuff.
No, although I do know when my sister-in-law is watching things like The Flash or whatever, and then I try to go in and mess with her episode. I'll watch an episode in the middle of nowhere, and then she'll be like, "What? Why am I on this one?"
That's awesome. What were you saying, Rob?
I wasn't saying anything.
Oh, you were before Mark started, but it's okay.
Oh,
You seem
wasn't
to have forgotten.
important, obviously.
Indeed.
Sorry.
So let's move on to our topic, and that was kind of multiplayer games at hand. So we have a lot of multiplayer games that have come out recently and are going to come out, and I thought it'd be a good time to sit down and talk about them as, multiplayer has become kind of like a major thing nowadays. But I need to hit a light. So, Mark, I'm going to go ahead and let you introduce this topic, and I'll be right back.
Well, so the reason this topic came up was, we were casting about. It's like, what are we going to talk about? And I said, well, there's kind of an interesting dynamic, I think, right now going on between Destiny and The Division. Because, Division just recently came out, and then they dropped an update pretty quick after the release. And then after that drop, a couple of weeks later, you've got Destiny dropping a major release. And then I know The Division is due for another one soonish. I'm not sure exactly what the time frame is on that. So I'm kind of wondering if there is some alteration going on as far as timeline, especially for Destiny, with regard to some of the competition they may be seeing from The Division. If the response to The Division is affecting what Destiny, what they're trying to do.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, they're in the same wheelhouse, right? Like, both those companies are trying to build a game that's kind of doing the same thing.
They're loot shooters, and that's what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just with a different perspective.
First-person Diablo or third-person Diablo. It's still Diablo.
Right.
And I would
So
say The Division's better, but that's just me.
I've heard mixed reviews. I mean, I have a group of people that I played Destiny with since it came out. I mean, once the 100.io came out and started helping people do LFGs, you had groups that you could sign into. And so it assigned you to a company, right? And so, like, I'm in Delta Company 64, and there's 100 of us because it kind of categorizes you by a couple of questions you ask. When do you play? How often do you play? That sort of thing. And then it groups you together. So I've got a group of regular people, about at least 10 or 15 people I play with regularly on Destiny. And then a lot of us got The Division and played it for about, I don't know, well, probably up until the point that the Destiny drop came out. And then I was the only one playing Division. And then they were all playing Destiny again. So it's like, well, I kind of migrate back over. It's like, well, yeah, actually, this is kind of fun. I'm enjoying it and not coming back to The Division. So I'm kind of wondering where that dynamic is going to go.
And it could just be that we have 2 games that everyone goes back and forth on now for the next couple of years.
Which I'm okay with. The problem is that The Division, I hit level 30 with no problem on The Division, and they really screwed up their crafting right at the beginning. They made it way too easy to craft, way too high a value items. And that's one thing I've noticed with console MMOs is that you get high-end stuff way too quickly. World of Warcraft really kind of set the pace for this, and how often you get this high-end stuff.
Well, see, when you're developing a game for children, you have to have that super long, short system there where you can get the power weapons so they don't get bored, and that's what consoles.
Rated M for mature.
I know,
on
right?
a console. I mean, how many kids do you hear playing Call of Duty?
Yeah,
Exactly.
everyone who plays Call of Duty.
Yes.
And that's part of the. You're right. I mean, that's part of the demographic, I suppose. But I'm just saying that, I get my power ups a lot faster, and I'm not even hardcore. I mean, I'm pretty casual. But I've got a pretty good decked out hunter for Destiny that can run end game content with the best of them. Division, I feel kind of the same. The only difference being that I haven't actually officially, successfully run the Incursion, which is their version of a raid, just because it was so glitched out that we were able to glitch it, many times, and so I haven't had to bother running it regularly.
Did we play? You play it on the PS4, correct?
Yes.
I have to go back and see if I still have my character. Maybe it's a better game now. Maybe after this amount of time, it's a good game.
Well, I mean, the Dark Zone is very interesting as far as the PvP aspect goes. The regular in-game content, I mean, I'm trying to run through it with a second character, but I'm not really serious about it, so I don't really have a point. It's not like I'm running the dailies. I mean, gosh, right now I'm barely on 3 times a week, maybe. So.
I think anytime you play, it's a daily.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh. I'm supposed to leave this feed going all week?
Yes.
Jeez.
So I'm kind of wondering if maybe the pressure from the Division is going to alter the way Destiny handles its roadmap.
I'd hope
or
so.
Vice versa.
Now that they have somebody who's doing something similar, like they done fucked up, but we have a saving grace is kind of gone. If you have somebody that's doing something similar to you.
Right. You don't get any more time to figure it out. You got that whole first year to figure it out.
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, I think I think that the competition's good, and it's absolutely going to shape both games, and that's what both of them probably need, especially Destiny, because it is like I've never seen a game come out and have as many people go. They're like playing it as they're saying like, yeah, it's not that great, it's kind of disappointing, and then
but I got nothing else to do.
Right, but it's the only game like this, and that's what everyone's playing, so that's what we're going to play. And you have the Division come out that's really similar and really good in a lot of ways. Maybe the end game kind of sucks, but it's at least putting some pressure.
Yeah.
And it does some things that Destiny that everyone thought it was going to do. Like the story, it's not very good, but it's a lot more involved. It's there. It's not like this ethereal thing on the internet you have to go find like it was in Destiny.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
That was lazy. That wasn't weird.
I actually did go back and read some of the story too, especially with the Fallen King stuff. But it's like it took a lot of effort to go and find all the information.
Yeah.
I actually expected that of like a Microsoft game, like, oh yes, use the what was it, the HoloLens? Not HoloLens, Microsoft Glass. What was it? Smart Glass. Yeah, Smart Glass app to get all this information. But they don't work for Microsoft, so why was that even a thing?
Search Bing for the next piece of the story.
No, thanks. I'd rather play it in game. But yeah, it is.
Would you like to set Bing as your default search engine?
No. Yes, you would.
Never.
No. Bing now set as default engine. No.
And then the no button starts moving on your screen. And click on it.
See, the dog was like, they're saying no too much. Like, but it'll be interesting to see. I liked Destiny a lot until I didn't, and then I kept playing until I didn't.
I like the alpha.
Yeah, when we thought there was going to be more.
Right.
We didn't realize we were looking at 1/4 of the whole game there. But Division I liked, but not as much. Something about the Division didn't really grab me. I don't know what it was, but I didn't really care for it. But I am glad to see that there's competition, because competition breeds competitive nature, and that's what you need if you have these games that are going to grow and need to get better. They need to have something to butt their heads up against. If you just have a Goliath, there's no reason for any change.
Right.
Yeah, there's 2 even bigger games that I think exemplify this, Jordan.
Doom and Quake.
Both of them released trailers last week, and those trailers got slightly different reactions.
Undertale and Day of the Tentacle.
Yeah. Yep. You got it. Those mega hits.
Yeah.
No, what do you guys okay. So I'm not a fan of Call of Duty or Battlefield, so I have found this endlessly entertaining because I don't have a horse in the race. But what do you guys think of this whole shebang where Call of Duty releases Infinite Warfare, the trailer for that, which it's a terrible trailer.
Oh,
Let's get that out of the way.
Worst trailer.
And I mean, it has a butt rock David Bowie song like a few months after he
Yes.
died. It's
Oh,
like,
terrible.
what are you? No.
Thanks, Infinity
Who thought
Ward.
this was a good idea?
And it's
And I
named
didn't even see that. Trailer.
Infinity Ward is making it, and they're calling it Infinite Warfare. Who let them get that out the door?
Yeah.
That's too much branding.
Infinity Warfare.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a bad trailer and it looks like a bad game. But for some reason, Call of Duty fans finally all noticed, like, oh, this looks really bad, even though it looks exactly like the last 3 Call of Duty games,
Right.
except a little more futuristic. It is the most downvoted trailer of all time on YouTube
Yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah.
It has like 1.5 million downvotes on YouTube.
Oh, that's twice as many as I heard.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's just skyrocketed. So then,
Sky
3 days
plummeted.
later,
Thank you.
3 days later, this Battlefield trailer comes out, and I care as much about Battlefield as I do about Call of Duty, and yet I'm watching this thing going, I'd play that. World War One, yeah, most upvoted game trailer of all time by far.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Why did this happen all at once? Like, how did Call of
Battlefield
Duty
is
go from
superior.
being the second most popular game of all time, second only to GTA, to Call of Duty?
We've had it with your crap.
Saturation. It's 100%.
Yes.
They oversaturated their market by putting out a game a year. It's too much.
A year.
They got
But
greedy.
Battlefield puts out a game a year too.
No, they don't. Battlefield
What
4
came out last year?
Battlefront.
Battlefield 4 is no, Battlefront.
Battlefront was
and
not
there was a
Battlefront.
Battlefield game last year. It
Not
was the
made by
top one.
DICE.
So
And
what?
it sucked.
Not all the Call of
Nobody
Duties are
liked
made
it.
by Infinity Ward.
Yeah, but the difference is that people viewed, like when they say Call of Duty, it's Call of Duty. Battlefield has been DICE making it. Then they started saying, oh well, we're going to try these other people making stuff. So that's when Remedy came in. Or not Remedy. Who was it? Was it Remedy? No.
It's an R word.
Yeah. Shoot, I can't remember. Whoever made
I don't remember
Hardline.
what that Hardline, yeah.
Yeah, Hardline was garbage. It was not the main team. They weren't working on that. But traditionally, there's like
Visceral.
Yeah. Well, that was not even an R. It's at the.
There's an R in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. But yeah, between 2 and 3, there was a good gap. Between 3 and 4, there was a good gap. And then now between 4 and 5, there's been a good gap. But the difference is they're not putting out named sequels anymore in Battlefield or in Catatafish. COD, Call of Duty. It's always a named thing, and I think that's where your problem is. Battlefield 4 is held to a different standard than Hardline. Like Hardline just was bad. Like no one liked it. It didn't do good. Battlefront also, like people seem to like it. A lot of people didn't like it. If you're a fan of DICE, then you weren't a very big fan of that game. Now you have Battlefield, what should be 5, instead is Battlefield 1,
The re-release of Battlefield 1.
which I responded with, if I wanted to play Battlefield 1, I would go play Battlefield, the original, 1942, plus the expansion, right? That'd be great.
Yeah, but that was World War II.
This is World War One.
Yeah.
That is even less optics, even more iron sights, even less respectable explosions.
Slower rates of fire.
Yes, exactly. Like
Horses. There's horses.
yeah, yay. Is this supposed to sell me? What the fuck were they thinking?
Yes.
Like,
Dude, it looks awesome. There's like old school Red Baron style dogfights and
I
those
expected
sweet
to see
World War
Snoopy
I
like
planes.
just go across the screen in half of that.
I'll be honest with you. You know, I've been a big Battlefield fan since the Desert Combat mod for 1942. I picked up Battlefield 2 and played that game for 2 straight years on the PC. Thank you very much. With a core group of friends to dominate the battlefield. Then I kind of moved away from it for 3 because I had shifted to console by that time and was just frustrated. Battlefield 4 came out. We got it. We played it quite a bit and really enjoyed it. Battlefield World War One doesn't excite me, but that's just because I'm not a big historical guy. I'm not a big historical buff.
I am historical, but I don't care for that. Now, you bring me Battlefield Shinjuku, I'll be fine. Or like Battlefield like Edo era Japan, that's fine.
You need like Nobunaga's ambition.
Exactly. I don't care for recent history when it comes to warfare.
Well, that's not even Battlefield because there's no flight or vehicles.
There's
True. I mean, that is a defining characteristic of Battlefield is the vehicles.
Yeah, I
True.
mean, World War One's about as far back as you can go and get away with it. I mean, kind of Civil War. I mean, they had
You've got
more
the
vehicles,
inception.
but
You've got the inception of real tanks, and of course, flight was just becoming a thing.
yeah.
time for a dog to lose some part of his body. Maybe his tongue.
I'm gonna kill him.
But yeah, it's interesting. I wasn't that excited for it either. The worst part is I'll still probably buy it just to see how good it looks and how the multiplayer is. The problem is I don't feel that DICE does very good iron sights. And if you have a game completely around iron sights, the company building it better do some damn good iron sights.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think that they're gonna like make it realistically World War One-ish. I mean, in some ways, yes, but I don't get the impression that the gameplay is going to be substantially different from what you're used to. It's just going to be in a World War One skin.
Yeah, that'd be excellent. I want trench warfare in my Battlefield.
Go play Verdun. There's a game for that.
Just huge casualties.
Yeah,
Everyone's
right.
KDR is terrible.
Piles of dead bodies everywhere.
Yeah, the bodies don't go away in this Battlefield,
That'd be awesome.
wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, if
Do you guys
they're-
ever
That's
see
a
Paths of
that's a
Glory?
valid tactic to like pile bodies up against the wall to go over it.
But
with
if we're
the
going
tank.
this far, we're going to take Battlefield. Battlefield has to earn that actual M rating. I want blood and guts. I want bullet holes. I want, like, if you're going to make World War One, World War One was an atrocity that needs to be recreated as an atrocious thing.
if you're
Yeah.
going to be a medic, you're going to have a needle and thread.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever see that movie Paths of Glory? The old Stanley Kubrick one with Kirk Douglas?
No, but I watched Apocalypto.
Oh, well, basically the plot of that movie is these guys in World War One, that their leaders pretty much just send them out there just to soak up the bullets. I want to be able to do that in this game. Just like have hundreds of teammates and just be like, you guys go, and then they just get blown to bits.
Let's deplete their munitions.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just
totally.
you're just treating lives as just bullet sponges.
And that was the thing back then. Like, once you had these huge conglomerations of countries, you could do that. Like, that's what Britain and France did. They just took every person and just went, hey, go. Bad. That's bad, people. Don't do that. You need to leave some people behind.
Well, so then, of course, we touched on it a little bit, but the other multiplayer game that we haven't talked about is Overwatch.
Which I am buying that game. Which I really feel like I shouldn't buy that game. And for the only reason I say that's because somebody else should be buying that game.
William's going to get it on PC.
But look at the date it comes out.
Shadowmere for MVP.
When does
I
it
don't
come
know what
out?
day it comes out.
What day does it come out?
May 24th.
Your birthday.
Yes. The day of which I was born. So no, I'll be buying the game because I had a lot of fun. The characters seemed varied enough. It'll be interesting to see what different gameplay modes they have and what the kind of carrot on the stick is, right? Because there doesn't seem to be much of one other than the fun, good gameplay. Which, let's be honest.
Boxes.
No, true.
It's not free to play then? You buy it?
Yes.
Well, maybe
Yeah,
they're
no,
trying
it's
this weird new idea where you just buy the game and you get it.
Right?
That's.
It's worth a shot.
I didn't say anything otherwise. I was saying what the carrot on the stick is as far as what is the goal to keep playing. Like
Continually.
in
Oh.
Battlefield, you unlock different weapons for different classes and all that. This doesn't seem to have that sort of system. You're not unlocking new weapons or new characters. You're more unlocking new skins and different voiceovers and stuff like that, which seems
Sprays.
sprays, which seems rather low rent for an unlockable system. So.
No, it's Blizzard. You know there's going to be something.
Yeah.
Some kind of loot drops or...
There will be a hook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like burn cards or something like that. Like I'm interested to see.
Yeah, that actually isn't a bad comment. That they're going to give you some sort of expendable that gives you a confers a minor advantage for a round only, and that you have to renew them or purchase them or earn them through gameplay or whatever.
Right? I think that would work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that game definitely sold me. Before I played that, I thought it was something cool, but I didn't really want to own the game. But playing that beta has definitely turned my opinion $50 worth, $60 worth.
It's a shame I'm banned from BattleNet.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well,
Nothing.
Rob's a notorious hacker.
I made the terrible, terrible mistake of buying Diablo 3 and then playing it twice, and then 6 months later getting the email that my account had been banned for cheating
Because you got hacked or something?
because I got hacked. And
Awesome.
I worked with Blizzard customer service for a little bit, and they said that it was fixed. And then I went to play a different Blizzard game a few months later, and it was not fixed. And I just said, you know what?
It's funny, you're not the first person to have a story like that about Blizzard where you end up giving the double deuces. Usually it's on two
Yeah.
different hands, but you went British with it.
I did.
So he had an issue, and to which he said, "I will not own another Blizzard product." I convinced him to download Overwatch. He pre-ordered it. Like,
Oh, yeah?
he was adamant about not having anything to do with Blizzard, and I finally convinced him to get the game, and he played it for 6 hours his first sitting.
Now, Rob, if you were able to get it on console and
You
play it,
still have
would
to have a
you do it?
BattleNet account.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering about that because they didn't ask for any credentials when you played the beta.
But Diablo, you have to log into your Battlefield account, I think.
Your BattleNet account, but Diablo isn't. Oh, is it? I haven't played it, so console you do have to log in.
I thought so.
Well, I can wait and see too, because I mean, I mean, if push came to shove, I could make a new account. It pisses me off that I lost Diablo 2, Diablo 3. What other Blizzard game did I have in there?
StarCraft, probably.
I don't remember what else I had.
World of Warcraft.
Me, I'm probably StarCraft. Some I had 3 or 4 games, and they're gone just because Blizzard can't get their security figured out. Steam account hacked 0 times ever.
Oh yeah. Well, and good lord, with all the stuff Blizzard has in place, I mean, I've got the stupid app that on my phone that
Sorry, we're playing.
it gives me the little code, and then I have to log in with it every so often, and
Yeah, Steam does that too.
it's ridiculous.
Did you?
Yeah, you have to now, if you do a fresh install and you have of Steam and you have the app on your phone, you have to use the validation code from your phone.
Oh,
It's good. Like, I'm glad that shit's in place because I have a lot of money
yeah.
in my Steam account.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, where was that when I signed up for BattleNet?
Right? Authenticators, they had those. They were just like a physical
They
keychain or
did,
something
but you
like
had to like get one. You had
It
to
was a
like order
fob,
it.
yeah.
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 Now they just do the BattleNet account thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Overwatch does the whole how we get more money out of you thing. The thing that kills me is that people, I mean, the appearance stuff doesn't matter to me at all. I'm not
People
going to
love it.
pay money
People
for
eat
something.
it up.
I am not going to pay money for something unless it confers a bonus to me. Now, there is an
What about
exception, and
bonus swag?
that is Destiny. I did buy some of the silver to get some of those dances and emotes because some of them are pretty damn funny. That's the first and only time I've ever spent money on something that was completely aesthetics. And like you said, I hear you talking about people who purchase these things in hundreds of dollars in $1 increments.
Yep.
And that is the model that the demographic they're targeting, and that model works to make them all that extra money. But still, it's just like, no, I can't do it, at least not very often.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like penny auctions.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what a penny auction is.
You bid on the auction, and every time you bid, it goes up a penny. The problem is that you pay the money every time you bid. So if the auction is at $11, you pay $11, and then if somebody outbids you, you don't get that money back.
Really?
So
Yeah.
so sure, you may get an iPad for $40, but you can guarantee they made hundreds of dollars in the auction process.
So even if you don't win the auction, you don't get that money back. But you always, wow, that's crazy. They made lots.
So if you're
of
the
money.
last bidder, then you could, and you only bid once, then you could have gotten the iPad for $40. But no one ever does. It's rigged.
Talk about sketchy.
Super sketchy.
How is it rigged?
Bad idea. Well,
why-
a lot of
what's to
times,
stop them from coming in and overbidding you.
and that's what they do. They use bots that'll put
Check
in a
the
penny bid.
values and yeah, because every
Yeah.
bid is 1 penny more.
Huh.
Yep. Lots of them have been busted by the SEC for that, or the whoever it is that controls that.
Federal security. Well, not SEC. Is the
Uh,
probably the FTC,
FTC. That's right.
Federal Tobacco.
They rhyme.
What's
It's basically the
FTC?
same department.
Federal Trade Commission,
Ah, yes. Oh, fun. Oh, it's
the ultimate MMO.
right. It's needless to say that MMO gaming, dang it, Mark, multiplayer gaming is here to stay. And there's some interesting ones that are coming up here soon. We'll see if maybe Call of Duty has finally run the gamut for what it can put out on a yearly basis without collapsing on itself. Maybe Battlefield has something here going back in time. I don't feel that's the case, but I could be wrong. We've got Battleborn, we've got Overwatch, we've got Paragon. There's so many games.
Oh yeah.
Cliffy B, whatever his new game is.
Yeah, I forgot about Battleborn.
Isn't that no? Battleborn is not Cliffy B. I don't remember what his game is, but there's a lot of multiplayer games coming out soon, and needless to say, they'll all be different. Like everyone's gonna have something new and try to bring something new to the table. So
Well, and it's going to hyper segment. You're going to get all these very nuanced differences between the games.
I'm going with the sword, man.
it'll be interesting.
Or some of them may end up being the next. What was that one where you jump around? The Bethesda published one.
Jump around.
Yeah, it was like a parkour multiplayer game that flopped really hard.
Was Mirror's Edge multiplayer?
No, but it was kind of like a multiplayer Mirror's Edge.
Made by Bethesda.
No, published by Bethesda.
What would be the
Right in my
point?
hands, man.
Oh, was it Dying Light? No, that wasn't Bethesda, was it? No.
No, this was a little bit older. It was Brink.
Oh, I didn't realize that was Bethesda.
Oh,
That's the game I think of when I see a lot of these new multiplayer games. I'm like, you might be the next Brink.
Oh,
So we'll see.
if that is
I'm
the
not going
case,
to lie you.
then we'll be here to talk about it. I was trying to end like wait, don't tell me. I severely failed. But we're gonna go ahead and
Actually,
I think
it was a fair attempt. I was going to say, I was like, that was actually really promising.
yeah, and then I pointed it out. But if that's what happens next week, we'll be there to talk about it. But until then, you can find us at gameoutloudpodcast@gmail.com, at GameOutLoudcast on Twitter, at iTunes. I don't think that works. We're on iTunes. We're on Twitch.
That's the worst Peter Sagal impression I've ever heard.
Peter Sagal. I think I'm doing Bill, actually.
You're doing.
Thank you, Bill. Like
Yeah, that was pretty good.
I love those shows. But yeah, you can find us on GameOutLoudPodcast@gmail.com. Find us at GameOutLoudcast on Twitter. You'll find us on iTunes and TuneIn Radio, where you can rate, subscribe, review. We're also on Stitcher. You can find our entire backlog on GameOutLoudPodcast.com. And yeah, go ahead and let us know how you feel. Let us know how the podcast affects you. If it makes you feel deep seated emotions of awesomeness, if it gives you superpowers, we'd like to know. So just let us know. And I just want to say, Mark, thanks for making the time to come on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And Rob, unlike Colin, I will say thank you for coming on. If anyone of you remember, Rob, if you would please demonstrate what Colin would do for you at the beginning of days.
Go fuck yourself, Jordan.
Thank you, Rob. We'll see you guys next week.